In the bustling world of Korean dramas filled with typical romantic plots and dramatic family conflicts, When the Phone Rings stands out as a gentle and quiet exception. Officially labeled a horror series, what truly captivates viewers is the late-blooming love between two people who have lived under the same roof without speaking for 3 years. At the heart of this emotional journey are actors Yoo Yeon Seok and Chae Soo, who transform the rigid script into a heartfelt story of healing. When a phone call becomes a symbol of hope. Based on an online novel of the same name, When the Phone Rings doesn't tell a sweet love story at first glance. Instead, it places viewers into the cold reality of a married couple who haven't spoken to each other for 3 years. Their marriage is arranged, and shadows of the past, silence, distance, and pain, loom over everything. But then, a threatening phone call from a kidnapper awakens everything. Interestingly, although categorized as horror, When the Phone Rings is fundamentally a romance wrapped in suspense. Yoo Yeon Seok, who plays Baek Se-yeon, a presidential spokesperson, emphasized, "We wanted the romance to be clearly shown. The blend of romance, humor, and suspense is the key for the audience to truly feel the love story." The final intimate scene, a first night after 3 years of marriage. In an interview with Sports Chosun, Yoo Yeon Seok broke conventional views by discussing the final intimate scene that sparked much attention. Without flaunting physicality or pandering for attention, the scene was portrayed as an emotional journey, a true first night after 3 years of silence. Yoo shared that he and Chae Soo carefully planned the scene, discussing tone and emotions, reviewing footage together, and coordinating every movement to make it subtle yet genuine. Surprisingly, the response from international viewers was overwhelmingly positive and deeply emotional. "I didn't expect such love. People saw it as beautifully and affectionately executed," he said. This scene was not just the emotional climax but the culmination of a resurrection of feelings. More than physical intimacy, it was their first spiritual connection. Yoo Yeon Seok's journey from monologue to genuine emotion. One unique aspect of When the Phone Rings is the character's development through silence. Yoo Yeon Seok admitted that initially, he was almost delivering a monologue with cold and distant lines. When he saw the intense dialogues for episode 10, he wondered, do we really have to go this far? But over time, thanks to collaboration with Chae Soo, those initially stiff lines became natural emotional exchanges. "At first, I was shy and it took time to feel comfortable. But Soo turned out to be brighter and more outgoing than I expected. We gradually became close, which really helped portray our relationship on screen," Yoo said. Behind every glance and every line is a complex emotional layer the two actors peeled back together. Captain Yoo, the silent leader behind the scenes. A seemingly playful nickname on set, Captain Yoo actually reflects Yoo Yeon Seok's real role during production. With few veteran actors on set, he was the eldest and became the emotional pillar of the crew. From discussing with the director to coordinating safety and dangerous scenes, Yoo acted as the helmsman of the project. When Chae Soo called him captain at the NBC Drama Awards 2024, it was more than thanks, it was a collective acknowledgement of the man who quietly supported and lifted everyone emotionally. When fans wish they were a real couple, an unprecedented phenomenon. The duo's on-screen chemistry has even sparked international fans to fervently hope they date or marry in real life. While this is not unusual in Korean entertainment, the intensity and spread of this reaction are noteworthy. Yoo Yeon Seok responded gracefully, "I'm very grateful. It means people truly immerse themselves in our love story. But marriage is not something I can decide alone." Behind his polite response is a subtle balance, maintaining professional boundaries while acknowledging the real feelings kindled between them. Ending beyond the 8.6% rating. With a nationwide 8.6% viewership and ranking 4th globally among non-English Netflix shows, When the Phone Rings exceeded expectations. But its true value lies not in numbers, but in how it quietly evokes a mature concept of love that overcomes pain by learning to listen again. Yoo Yeon Seok and Chae Soo didn't just act as a couple, they lived with the audience through every tender, awkward moment. And the greatest miracle is that, within the silence of an arranged marriage, they created a love story that touches millions of hearts. When the Phone Rings is not a call from a kidnapper, it's a call awakening sleeping emotions, a bell tolling for empathy, connection, and healing. And Yoo Yeon Seok and Chae Soo, with their sincere acting and open hearts, help audiences hear this sound in its fullest. In the ever-watchful eyes of K-drama fans, on-screen chemistry often sparks endless speculation about real-life relationships. Recently, the leading man Yoo Yeon Seok, known for his nuanced and heartfelt performances, addressed one of the hottest rumors circulating around his co-star Chae Soo, the question of whether their on-screen romance could translate into real-life marriage. During a recent exclusive interview with Sports Chosun on January 6, Yoo Yeon Seok was candid yet careful when discussing the intense fan interest regarding his relationship with Chae Soo. The two starred in the popular MBC drama When the Phone Rings, which has captured international attention for its unique blend of suspense, romance, and emotional depth. The origins of the rumor mill. The drama's premise itself, a couple who have lived together silently for 3 years in an arranged marriage, intrigued millions. Yoo Yeon Seok and Chae Soo-bin's portrayal of Baeksa Eon and Hong Gi-yo struck a chord with audiences, not just for the plot, but for the subtle, authentic chemistry that blossomed on screen. As the story unfolded, viewers worldwide became deeply invested in the couple's slow rekindling of affection, especially after the emotionally charged final episode that featured a first night scene after years of silence. The tenderness and vulnerability between the actors in that pivotal scene ignited hopes and speculations among fans that the actors' off-screen relationship might mirror their characters. Yoo Yeon Seok's thoughtful response. When asked about these persistent rumors, Yoo Yeon Seok responded with a mix of gratitude and realism. "I'm very thankful because it means people really like the chemistry we have. It shows how deeply they are immersed in our romantic story and how much they see us as a destined couple. But as for marriage? That's not something I can decide by myself." This answer was both a heartfelt acknowledgement of fan support and a reminder of the boundary between professional partnership and personal life. Yoo emphasized that while the chemistry might be real, decisions about marriage involve more than just two people, they include families, timing, and many other considerations. A new perspective on celebrity relationships. Yoo Yeon Seok's statement reflects a mature and refreshing perspective amid an industry often riddled with gossip and unfounded claims. In K-drama culture, fans frequently blur lines between fiction and reality, sometimes placing immense pressure on stars. Yoo's honest words subtly call for respect for privacy, while still appreciating the powerful impact their performances have had. Moreover, Yoo's answer highlights how actors approach their craft seriously, not just as entertainers but as individuals managing complex human relationships off-screen. It's a reminder that on-screen romance, no matter how convincing, is still a professional collaboration. The role of Captain Yoo behind the scenes. Part of why Yoo Yeon Seok and Chae Soo-bin's relationship works so well on screen is Yoo's role as the steady captain on set. With few veteran actors present, Yoo took on the responsibility of creating a supportive atmosphere, guiding younger actors, and helping maintain a positive, focused working environment. Chae Soo-bin affectionately calling him Captain Yoo is more than a nickname, it signifies respect and gratitude for his leadership and mentorship. This professional closeness likely contributed to their believable chemistry, but again, it's rooted in teamwork, not romance.